Hello everyone, we should be live. Welcome to this, I don't remember what number anymore, 7, 8 food design webinar. Today my guests are Sharp and Sour, and I'm very excited. This is not their actual first name, it's the name of their studio. But I'm very excited to have them here with us, and we're going to be talking about food design from their own unique perspective. Just before we start, as usual, guys, let us know where you're from in the chat room, from where you're connecting, and if you have questions at any time, please let us know. Let us know also if the audio works fine and if you guys are listening fine, etc. Guys, please, Maria and Mario, it kind of sounds like you were put together because of your first names also. Please tell us about yourself, how your work journey has been so far, and how you've come to know of and work in the world of food design.
Yeah. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having us. I think we both think this is such a great platform to learn more about food design and to create this sense of community that I think it's so much needed in food design, especially this field that is still growing. So, yeah, thank you. Thank you for having us. About our journey, well, it started a long time ago. We started Sharp and Sour around 2 years ago, but we actually know each other, Mario and I, for quite some time. We met each other in uni. We studied the same degree. It's called Global Design and Branding. And it was a really cool degree because they really teach you like a really broad range of skills. But when we were done, we had this feeling that something was lacking, or that we didn't want to focus on like the traditional graphic design or interior design. So we did a master's, each of us, to kind of find what we were really passionate about. So I did my master's in Milan in food design, and then Mario did his master's in Barcelona in speculative design. And then we just started working for different studios and companies for some time. But then at some point we decided, why not doing something together? Because Mario and I, we've been friends, since we were 18, and we're always discussing about like current issues and sharing ideas and sharing knowledge. And I think we make a really good team together. So at some point we were like, why don't we create something that merges both our passions, which is food and futures. And that's how Sharp and Sour Food and Futures was born. And I have actually a slide I want to show because I think it really summarizes our approach to design and food design. It's this. We believe that food is one of the most powerful mediums to talk about complex issues and help visualize future scenarios. And that's exactly what we are passionate about. We think food, it's such a powerful tool to communicate more complex ideas and to make them approachable for people, because in the end, it's one of the few things we all human beings have in common. We all eat food. We all enjoy food every day, and we think, it's a great way to explore more difficult or more complex problems and make them approachable for everyone. So.
Absolutely. We ingest it 3 times a day. We make food at least 3 times a day. We make food choices at least 3 times a day, right? So in that sense, for sure. It's really one of those things that if we want people to think about something, let's communicate it through food, because they'll be thinking about it a lot.
Exactly. And also, food is such an amazing thing. It's not something you see. Like graphic design, for example, is something you just see, but food design is something you experience. You smell, you taste, you touch. So
you eat,
it's such a deep connection. Yeah.
That's the only materials designed with that human beings actually poop in the end. Yeah. So, you guys have been, you two are, two more people, one more studio that has been operating for a year in this global situation we are living. What do you guys think that food design can do for this situation? And maybe also though, So what is the power of food design? What is the thing that only food design can do to help out or whatever in this weird time you're living? But also maybe what
Mhm.
are the things that you have experienced in your life? What are the differences in your work life, productive, creative life that you have experienced, etc.?
Okay, so for us, I would say that food design can help us understand better, like all the relationships in between food, the food system, and all the agents like that are involved in all the process since the uh, plant is starting to grow to the moment that you are eating it, and even before, and all that happens in between. Um, so most of all, I think where it has the most uh, potential will be with everything that has to be that is in relation with climate crisis. I'd say because it's obviously something that it's really connected. Uh, the weather and the earth is the main thing that is like nurturing us. So. And actually, we wanted to show a project that it's really related with this. It's the first project that we are going to show you, but it's our last project that we've done. Um, and I don't know if you're seeing already.
Yeah, all good.
Okay. So it is called the Museum of Endangered Foods, and it is a platform to think about one of the most underestimated like consequences of climate crisis, which is the extinction of food. Because usually when we think about extinction or endangered species, we only think about wild animals and not so much about farm animals or even plants, edible plants that we consider foods. So the idea behind this project is to show all these issues related with climate crisis through the perspective of food and through certain ingredients that are on the verge of extinction. So, Maria, can you? Yeah. For example, coffee is one of them. If I'm not mistaken, it's expected to uh, be in real danger from 2050 onwards.
Yeah.
And just like chocolate, because both of them are really like really delicate trees or plants, and therefore like with rising temperatures, like irregular weather patterns and irregular rainfall seasons, pollution, everything that's happening, uh, they are really becoming in danger and in the risk of extinction because like the area also where you can grow these kind of trees is really limited. So any disbalance in the atmosphere and the weather patterns can really affect these foods.
We also
But
actually had the chance to talk with a farmer, like a
sure.
cocoa farmer in Tanzania, I think. And he actually told us that it was already happening, that the weather, like the rain patterns and the rain seasons were all messed up, and that was already affecting the crops. So it's already happening. Yeah.
Yeah, but also not only these kind of foods that are like more like treats or more select foods, let's say that they are not really basic. We also have these other kind of foods or ingredients like potatoes or chickpeas, soybeans, and stuff like that that are also really required a lot of water or certain specific conditions. And they are also in great danger. These ones probably are not going to like disappear completely, but we have so many, like thousands of different varieties of each plant, and we are losing so many of them. So if we lose most of them and we have like a couple of them only, then these varieties are like more vulnerable to plagues and weather patterns that change completely. So probably these couple of examples are not going to disappear, but in the future, it's also a risk. And also, well, as you can see here, we have done this project is a photographical one, and we wanted to showcase these ingredients in an environment that simulated a museum. So we created this glass showcase, and we put them inside, and we put them next to their expiring expected date. So, for example, fish is expected to, if we continue like this, of course, is expected to disappear from the oceans in 2048, and avocados by 2050, bananas more or less the same, and also wine, not grapes. And again, with wine, it's not the problem that we are going to run out of grapes, but certain varieties of wine are really endangered because they're like, the grapes only grow in certain specific areas with certain specific climates. So, yeah.
I love it because it looks like a museum that we might go to in, I don't know, 2050 or 2100. No,
Yeah.
2100, and say, hey, remember when we were eating avocados?
Yeah,
Remember the avocado toast? Oh,
and it's so sad because, like,
yeah,
we had this idea, but when we made it and we were like watching at the pictures, it was way more like impactful and shocking and disturbing to see them like this.
Yeah.
Like they disappear completely, and we only have this like piece of banana and this piece of avocado.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really shocking. And so we hope that through this project we can like make people reflect about this issue from a different perspective, from the food perspective.
Yeah.
And also we wanted to use this opportunity to see if someone or some museum or art gallery or something like that is interested in like bring this project to life to a physical museum, because as we were telling you, this is a project that we really think it can connect with people in a different, more deeper level. But probably the people that is less aware or conscious about the issues of climate change are older people that are not really into the internet or in social networks and stuff like that. So we really think that bring this to reality, to a space, a physical space where every kind of people, like older people or people that are not using the internet much, can go and really connect with it. And really seeing it like that in real life, it's like much more impactful than in a picture. Yeah. So if someone is out there and wants to like is interested in the exhibition, like just let us know.
You know what I think we should do? You should select a museum that you, like a physical museum that you admired and that you would hope your project would be exhibited in. And then you tell us which one it is. And then we somehow here and through my network and a few other people can all start tagging that museum.
That would be great.
Right?
Oh, that's a great idea.
We get everybody in the audience to tag this museum and say, this is the exhibition that we want to come and see, and we see if that works. That could be good.
Oh, we'll think about it. Yeah, we'll try to find a museum that we think it will fit with, and then we'll just tag it everywhere.
It's such an easy and like cheap exhibition, so also, everybody should be interested.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but very of a potentially very impactful. That's what I was trying to say. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, what are some current trends that you are actually interested, that you find interesting, that you've been working on, that you find food design is really, where you find food design is blooming?
Well, there's so many trends I think we're interested in, or there's just so many things going on right now. But we've been always like really into mushrooms, and not only like as a sustainable food source, which they are, but also as a material, like as a packaging material. There's so many projects using the mycelium of mushrooms as a packaging, for example, or even as a building material. It's crazy what they can do. So we're really excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, algae and seaweed. They're not only a really great like nutrient source, but also they are used for packaging and for different type of bioplastics. And also they can purify water. They can provide oxygen for us. So that's another of the trends that we are really like into it.
Yeah. And what else? Well, also, Mario is really into this, so maybe he can tell you more about it. But all this, like, there's so many like publications now focused on more indigenous knowledge or more ancient knowledge that it's been forgotten or that we wiped out for centuries. And it's so nice to see people like digging it and bringing it back to the spotlight again. I think that's really, really cool as well.
There is a book. It's called Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer, and she gives a lot of valuable like insight on how indigenous peoples used to grow any kind of stuff. There are many concepts that are really like interesting. Like for example, the honorable harvest, which is the way in which like they're not only taking food from the land, but they are also like in contact with the land, and the land is like a living being for them. And in this trend, it's one of the best books that I've read. So I would really recommend it.
Yeah, definitely. You should send me a text later or an email, and I'll write the name of the book in the description of the video, so people who will be watching later can find it there.
Sure. So maybe we can like also send you another book from the previous project that we like, the museum. There's another one called Lost Feast by Lenore Newman, and it's all about like the foods that have already gone extinct and the ones that like it's one of our main sources of information for the project. So we will send it to you.
Yeah. And needless to say that I think I've already put your Instagram page on your on the description of this video. But if you guys have any other, which I think there's a link tree there or something for different things. But if you have any additional links to things that you want to show, I'll
great. We'll send them over, And what other trends? Well, also, we're recommending so many books, but another trend we've been really into is food as medicine or food as treatment, or how food impacts, like both, not only the body, which is more well-known, but also the mind. There's this really cool book. It's called The Food Mood Connection. By this Dr. Naidoo, and she talks about how certain foods really impact your brain, like how certain foods can prevent depression or prevent anxiety, or how other foods can actually increase depression, for example. And we found that really, really interesting lately.
Which I think is the point of basically all superfoods, what are called superfoods. And that really follows the trend of functional food, now they're called. And for sure, I take every day or almost every day. I think it's called 7 mushroom powder something. So it's a powder made of 7 different types of mushrooms that have because mushrooms are definitely among superfoods, and many of them. And so we could do everything we need for our body with food only, and that's plenty of research supporting that. And so it's beautiful that it's now coming up, and therefore, and for sure, food design is one of the vehicles that we have that can make this type of information accessible and exciting.
And more approachable, because sometimes I think that all these superfoods are regarded as like, I don't know, like something that could be not for me, if I'm not into food, I would be like, oh, this crazy mushroom powder thing, I'm not into that. And I really think food design can make it more approachable. And actually we have another project related to this on how food affects the body, and we can show you now. Let's see. Here. Yeah, can you see?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. So it's called Cacao Alchemy. And in the end, it was more like a research recipe development project, but all this information got condensed in an ebook or a guide on the alternative uses of cacao. And yeah, it has a lot to do what we were talking about, food as medicine. And it was really cool because we worked with this chocolate brand. It's a bean to bar chocolate brand. So they basically contact the farmers themselves, and they get the beans directly from the farmers, and then they bring them over there. It's a really cool space in Spain, in Valladolid. And then they make this amazing bean to bar chocolates. So yeah, we worked with them to create this project called Cacao Alchemy. And first, we really deep dived into the chemistry of chocolate, how chocolate and cacao affects both the mind and the body, how it works in combination with other ingredients. We also studied the history behind chocolate. And then with all that information and all that knowledge, we decided to create 5 different recipes that would have 5 different effects, both in the mind and the body. So kind of like a contemporary potion, if you will. So this is the first one. It's called Brain Brew, and it's a variation of dirty chai, which is chai with a shot of espresso. And in this case, we substitute the black tea in chai with this infusion of cacao husk. So it's basically all the husks that cover the cacao bean get infused, and then you have this kind of like chocolate infusion. And then we added a bunch of spices and a lot of different active ingredients that will help you focus and concentrate better. And it sounds like kind of like magic or like witchy in a way, but it's all backed up with science. Like all the ingredients are there because of a reason. And we really took so much information from that book we were mentioning before about the food mood connection, because this Dr. Uma, she really, really talks about all the different like chemical reactions that occur in the brain when you eat certain foods. So we really draw some inspiration from her book. It was really cool. But yeah, then we have this one, Dream Knitter. I think this is one of the craziest recipes that we developed. And this is a chocolate drink to make you have more vivid, wild dreams at night.
Ah,
yeah, we think this one is a really fun recipe to try, and it's also quite easy to prepare. And yeah, we took advantage of the psychoactive ingredients in nutmeg, for example, and also a few other ingredients. For example, peanut butter contains tryptophan, which makes you have more vivid dreams and even remember them better next morning. So yeah, this one is really fun.
so do you guys finish and then I'll ask?
Yeah, sure. Okay, this one, third one is La Marchosa. I think this one is one of our favorites as well.
This one is really good. Like it tastes really good.
It also tastes amazing. Yeah, it's kind of like a gin tonic in a way, but without all the like drawbacks of alcohol. So it's a drink that would help you relax and socialize and just enjoy the party. And it's a tonic water based kind of cocktail with this cacao husk infusion that we were talking about. Some ginger. Ginger has been proven to be really good as well with anxiety and social anxiety. Some peppercorns and also CBD to really boost that effect of just calmness and being able to just enjoy and socialize. And then the fourth one is Liquid Lust. I don't think this one needs much explanation on what it does, but we really researched is all this aphrodisiac ingredients were actually aphrodisiac. And we discovered that certain ingredients, for example, honey or saffron or pistachios, they have been used for centuries in different cultures to improve libido. So we wanted to make a recipe with those, and obviously chocolate with not only is an aphrodisiac, but it also boosts your mood. So obviously with a better mood, you're more prone to have a good time.
Sure.
And then this is the last one. This is Blues Remedy. So it's a drink to just boost your mood. Obviously, chocolate makes you feel better. It's been scientifically proven. So, and also a few other active ingredients such as turmeric or cloves, cinnamon, that they all work together to just make you feel better. And yeah, these are the 5 recipes.
So, guys, with this project, you said you have developed the recipes, and of course, then there is the component of photography. What else have you? Are the recipes available? In what format is it, if it is given to people?
Yeah. Well, it's an ebook, an ebook that has the 5 recipes, how to prepare them. Also, it includes the science behind them. So you have the recipe with the ingredients and preparation, and then an extra page that explains you why each ingredient is there. And also, there's it's not a long book, but I think in total it's how many pages, Mario?
50 or more than 50,
50 or 60 pages with with these recipes, history of cacao, properties of cacao, an interview to this bean to bar company, another interview with a chocolate farmer, cacao farmer, and some other things.
So
basically, like an introduction to chocolate and how it affects mind and body, I would say.
I think that the link to this book, ebook, is in the link in the bio of your Instagram, right? Yeah, I think I've seen it. So anybody who's interested can go there.
Yeah, really? Exactly.
Thank you so much. I actually had ideas about these, and I might be getting in touch with you again. So, what would you say is your biggest discovery so far in the world of food design? What has food design allowed you to discover that you didn't know before, that surprised you, etc.?
Okay, so I think the biggest thing that we've discovered, we haven't discovered it per se, because we knew to some extent that this was like this, but we were like, or at least I was blown away to the extent that how all these relations and how everything regarding food is political in some way. Like we know, for example, about veganism, that it's of course somehow political. Or for example, the real food movement, it's also another kind of politics. But literally everything is political regarding food. Like food is political when we talk about the farmer that is producing it and what are their labor conditions, but also riders from like apps like Globo and stuff like that. It's also political even inside veganism. Like it's not the same to be basing your diet in chickpeas and potatoes because you are poor or you cannot afford avocado toast or Beyond Burgers and stuff like that. So that's also political, and this links with how can you like really perceive these inequalities, like social, economical, and political, and all these kind of inequalities through food. And the next project that we wanted to show you is really related with this, and with topics such as racism and colonialism. So, right. Yeah. Okay. So it is called like Redesigning Racist Brands, and it was one of the first projects that we did as a studio. Mm-hmm. And we did it like during the summer of 2020, if I'm not mistaken, when all the protests from the Black Lives Matter movement were happening in the United States, but also globally. And we really wanted to do something to help or to contribute to talk about this issue and how like Western countries are really like racist and colonialist towards Black people. So there were already people in the activist community in Spain talking about these kind of brands that are like really racist or have are really racist graphic identity. And
they are brands, like at least in Spain, they are really well-known brands. It's not like brands that nobody knows. It's something we've grown up with, literally. Like we've grown up eating these things.
So maybe put the first slide of the project.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was the first brand that we decided to redesign. It's called Conguitos, which in Spanish means literally little Congolese boys or something like that. And as you can see, the graphic identity is really racist because it's the caricature of a black person. So you are not only eating that black person, but also if you see like the previous videos and graphic identity and advertisements from this company, they were really like colonialist and they were really disgusting actually.
So, and it's crazy that you can still buy this, like that you can go to the supermarket and find this.
If someone is interested in seeing like the previous designs, which were really like
even
more extreme than this one, they can go to our website, to this project, or they can just Google it and you can find it easily. So what we did was like a change of name and a change of the icon or the this kind of chocolate thing in order to make it to get rid of every racist attribute that it had.
Mm-hmm.
And we did this also with a couple more. One of them is Colacao, which is a cocoa powder drink, like, similar to Nesquik. Maybe this is more like international. So it's the Spanish Nesquik. And we wanted to, we were like researching about this, and we found an interview by one of the most like important black activists in Spain. She's called Iris Sastre Rivero, and she was saying in an interview that why are the guys in the illustration of Colacao working really hard to get the product instead of enjoying it? So we decided to do just that and like acknowledge her, and yeah, we just redesigned them to make them appear like enjoying the drink and not just producing it for us. And the same. We applied the same thing to this other brand, which was a rum brand, and it's called Negrita, which I think it's already really obvious what it means, but in case somebody doesn't know, it's like a little black girl or woman. And again, the logo, which is the face of this black woman, is a face of a worker or probably a slave from the sugarcane fields. So we wanted to do the same, like the same scheme. Like we wanted to put another black woman, but enjoying the product and being like empowered and happy about consuming the product, not just producing it for us. And actually, this project it went like really viral on Instagram mainly, but also Twitter. It reached over 400,000 people on social media. And it was shared by many like activist accounts and stuff like that. So that not only made us feel like really proud somehow to have done it and to have been able to speak about it, but it's also a proof of how relevant these issues are nowadays for the society nowadays, that maybe before they were not relevant and they were allowed, but right now, with the cancel culture and stuff like that, we don't tolerate this kind of stuff anymore. So I think that's...
And it's really unbelievable that in 2021, any of those brands haven't thought, hey, maybe we should rethink our logo or our brand or our name. And I guess, I completely understand that changing your logo is a big deal because you're changing your identity and you are afraid that people might not recognize you. Okay.
But still, yeah.
How is it possible that...
And also with this project, we really wanted to prove that it's possible to redesign your logo without losing the identity,
The essence, yeah.
So my question is, have you reached any of the companies, or has any of the companies reached you? Or do we need to start tagging them?
That already happened in the moment. Yeah. Like people start tagging them and sharing the post with them. So we are like 100% sure that at least Conguitos, the first one, they saw the project and they actually, like, we researched their Instagram and we could see that they posted a picture every 2 days, I think. And when we posted the project, they took like more than a week because I guess they were in crisis. Like, what do we do now?
Right. Yeah.
So
also,
at least
a lot of people. No, they didn't. They didn't. No, but we are sure they saw it because like lots of people would reshare the project and they would tag them, but they never reached out.
The problem with this brand specifically is that a lot of haters of our project and a lot of like stream right people and like really, like this kind of people made it a symbol, and even like the fastest political party here in Spain released like a.
We lost him.
Something happened.
Frozen in time. It's the brand. They are
You're sabotaging us. Oh, it's back.
Okay, so we see you twice now. One of you is frozen and one of you is fine, but it's good. It's okay.
Can you kick one of us?
Yeah. Kick you away, you think? I don't know. Let's see. Remove. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect.
So
Conguitos was sabotaging you, Mario.
So what I was saying is that these people created like a campaign to support Conguitos, like against all the people that were like saying this is really racist and you should remove it. They took it as a symbol somehow. So I don't think they're going to change anything.
No.
Well, we still have a very big power as users. We can choose whether to buy something or not. Let's not forget that. Brilliant, guys. I love that this is really one of the projects that I wanted you. This project is one of the reasons why I wanted to have you here. It's what we. It's one of the projects that you see them and you think, oh my God, why haven't I thought of it? Why hasn't everybody thought of it? Why aren't we doing this every day? It's so simple. For us, right? After you've done all the work, it's easy to say. But it's so immediate. It's so, and the fact that when you posted it on social media, it exploded like that is, as you said, is exactly the reason why these things are needed. I think it shows how branding and graphics, which are extremely important and central parts of any food design project, are essential to what you want to communicate and the type of work that you create, really.
Yeah.
So what did we say? So you said, how many years did you guys say that you've been together as Sharp and Sour?
A bit less than 2 years, I would say. Yeah.
Right. So you started a little bit before the madness started happening.
Yeah.
So you're a young studio. What I always like to ask this next question, because many of the people who follow my work are people who want to start in the world of food design, or people who are in the world of food design and want to continue doing food design.
Yeah.
But mostly it's people who don't have a business background and who start doing food design. And food design, when you are in it, in one shape or another, you are creating some sort of business. And we were reflecting actually with the guys from Food Design Nation that not many of us are in design school, for example, or let's say in gastronomy or food science or whatever your food design background is. You're not really taught about business, and then you get into the world, you want to create, but creating is a business, requires a business. So my question to you is, based on what you've learned, based on how you've done things, maybe, even similarly to me, I just stumbled across things and I just made it up as I was going along. What is the number one business advice that you would give to somebody starting in the world of food design? Because you have no idea of the email that I received. I want to do this. How do I do this? So what is your answer?
Yeah. I think, at least for us, something that has helped us a lot is not being shy and really reaching out to other people and being open and curious. Because I think it's really easy to like really focus on your work, what you're doing. But I think a very important part of our job is to being social and just asking around, being curious, learn from other people, contacting other people, or just create this this network around you that you can learn from. And I think that has really helped us a lot to figure out how to do business, because like even though we studied design at university, but they don't really teach you how to start your own design company. So I think having people around you that know more than you and just not being shy and ask, I think that has really helped us. And also really, really important, I think, is to, especially when you're starting, to have come up with your own self-initiated projects, because those are the projects that really communicate who you are as a studio and what are your values and what you can bring to the world. So I would say self-initiated projects are key. You're not paid for them, but I think they are really, really important to show the world who you are.
Yeah, and to build your portfolio when you are starting, because if you have no business whatsoever until now, you have no clients, and then you have a portfolio, so you need your own project, and it's important to spend like time and even money if you have to in your own projects in order to create like a really strong portfolio of
and you really don't know what will come out of it. Like we wanted to show this particular example of us. I think it was our first self-initiated project, the first one we did as a studio, and it brought us so many cool things. I'll show you real quick, and then I'll tell you what the outcome was. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So this urban foraging was the first project Mario and I did together, like self-initiated, and I think we came up with this concept just talking, because Mario and I would just love talking and debating about things, and we were talking about like how people from cities and just urban areas, how disconnected they are from the food they eat, and how little edible in a way cities are. And then we started wondering and asking ourselves these questions, like, what if the only food source was the one that grows within the city limits? And then with this question, we thought it was a powerful question, or a really powerful concept to develop. So we came up with this urban foraging.
So this was this maybe even before the first lockdown? And you didn't even know how relevant it could have been. In a futuristic scenario, but still we were living it. We've been, I mean, most of us in Europe, we've been more than a month in our town, so.
And it was crazy how this project also somehow became real for some time with certain ingredients and for really different reasons, but for some reason we had a lack and a lot of ingredients were out of stock for a long time during the pandemic. So when this happened, we were like, what the fuck? We did something and somehow it's being real now.
And Mario was living in Barcelona at the time, so we met there, and then we just went to the streets and tried to forage whatever we could find there. We found fruits, we found plants, berries, seeds, and then we cataloged them and researched about them and see how to process them in a way to make them edible or more tasty or more nutritious. For example, we learned that there was a lot of acorns trees in Barcelona, and we learned that you have to bleach the acorns to get rid of the tannins before they're edible, for example. Or we learned that in Spain, during scarcity times, during the war, for example, they would use carob seeds, which is like these big seeds that grow in like big pods hanging from trees. We learned that those beans were grounded into a powder and then used as a substitute of chocolate. So we just really researched on all the ingredients we found and how to process them, and then we came up with 3 dystopian or speculative recipes that we want to show you. The first one is this rat stew with acorns. Just a quick disclaimer: the rat has been photoshopped. It's the only ingredient that we didn't actually hand, but the rest we forested ourselves. So yeah, it's this acorn-based stew, and then as a second course we have this roasted pigeon with mushrooms. Again, the picture of the dead pigeon has been photoshopped. And then this roasted pigeon is accompanied with these sweet berries that we found, and then we made like a sweet sauce out of them to glaze the pigeon. And then finally we have for dessert this carob truffles with jasmine tea, made with these carob seeds that we were talking about. And then we found in one random street we found this beautiful big jasmine bush, and we collected all the flowers in order to make this jasmine tree. And these are the main three recipes. But we kept thinking like, okay, so if this was to happen, how would it work? And then we thought, okay, there should be a guide, an urban foraging guide on how to forest the city. So we would have tips on how to hunt a pigeon, for example, or where to find, where are the location of specific ingredients, like in this park and in this street and by this road you can find this particular tree. Also how to process certain ingredients to make them edible. And we also thought, okay, but these are the ingredients that we found in Barcelona, but we're sure in Amsterdam or in Berlin the ingredients are different. So we thought, okay, there should be then different urban foraging guide for the different cities, and yeah, these are the main images of the project. And going back to the self-initiated projects, for example, with this one, we were able to present it at the Dutch Design Week, also at Future in Barcelona, and we also could talk about it in depth for a talk that we gave for the World Design Embassies. So even though it was a self-initiated project, it brought us so many opportunities and so many cool things. So that's something we definitely recommend to people who's starting just.
Yeah, because at the beginning you need visibility somehow. So this kind of project really help you to become visible and become more or less known.
Mm-hmm. So on a practical level, to people who are starting out in this world, what social media platform you would recommend, and maybe a couple of tips on what type of activity in whatever social media platform you would recommend.
Mm-hmm. I would say, at least for us, the ones that have been working better has been Instagram and LinkedIn, I would say. Especially for Twitter as well. Yeah, it depends. It's a different kind of I guess public. For LinkedIn, I think it has brought us cool projects, for example, or people to collaborate with. I think Twitter is more to engage in conversations. For example, with Redesigning Racist Brands, it was really cool to be able to talk with so many people and interact with so many people.
And Instagram for visibility, and also for people to for visibility, for people to share your work and to gain followers, which all this in the end is just being more visible. But we have to say that neither of us is really a social media fanatic.
Yeah, oh god.
It's can't be
so hard for us.
We can't be designers, business people, social media managers. We can't be everything.
Yeah, we kind of hate it, but it's something that we know we have to do. So
yeah,
we have to be consistent and
yeah, consistency is key, and we struggle with that a little bit. But yeah, at least for the studio account, we really try to be consistent.
And then you have
our personal accounts are abandoned.
Abandoned, yeah.
Well, if once in a while you have one of your projects that gets 400,000 reposts, I would say that it's quite cool, isn't it?
Yeah, then it's worth it.
So now to round this up and to get the last piece of insight from you guys, quite simply, what would you like to be remembered by?
I think with all these projects that we've shown you and everything, I think we'd like to be remembered by not by ourselves or by the studio, but by our projects and by for how we've made like people reflect or change their vision in certain topic.
For example, for me, it's not as that important to be remembered as Sharp and Sour or this particular project. Like if they don't remember it, it's okay. But for me, it would be really cool, even though they don't remember, I don't know, the Museum of Endangered Foods project, that something stick to them. Like maybe they don't remember the name of the project or the studio, but they are now more aware about certain foods that could go extinct if we're not careful, for example.
Yeah, in the end, like what we are trying to do in the present is to like help with our project to create somehow a better society or a better like understanding of all the implications that food has around it. So if in the future somebody remembers us and it's because of that, that would be great, because that would mean that we are doing right now a good job. So yeah, that's it.
Lovely. Well, guys, thank you so much. I loved it. I love your work, and it was very beautiful having you.
It was really nice chatting with you. Yeah.
I wish you lots and lots of success. I'm pretty sure we will be working together again.
Oh yeah.
And any additional link that you want me to put in the description, if you send it, I'll put it up in the next few minutes. And any closing remarks?
I don't know.
Not to put you on the spot.
Not really. If you find the work interesting, just check it out in our website, and we will also send you the link for the book in case somebody wants to get it. It's both in Spanish and in English. So
brilliant.
Yeah.
Again, thank you guys. Wish you lots of success, and
thank you.
And
thank you so much for having us.
And thank you everybody who's been listening and who will be listening, listening to this webinar in the future. Once again, have a lovely day and happy food design. Bye.
Bye.